Hi, welcome back to the Dylan Rounds case, and welcome if you're currently here in the live chat. I appreciate it. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you and kind of like comparing James Brenner, also known as Jim Brenner, how he appears in most recent time, the latest photo/video of him, and compare it to how he was previously captured, just to see what's changed. Is there any decline physically in terms of appearance? All that type of stuff, okay? Might be able to detect other things in between. Also, I want to read out and analyse two different articles. One is to do with, considering a homicide case, and then the second one is reinforcing it. I know we have looked at that with the Candy's Cooley updates on Facebook and stuff, but these are separate articles. I want to see if the information is in line with one another, to see if there's any blank spots, any information that can fill in the blanks, if there's any contradictions, if there's any quotes from key individuals, all of that stuff, because it can be very helpful. For me, I feel like I'm slowly getting to that point within the case that I can look at current articles and even look back at previous ones and correct the information as I read it out. Because I did that with the Kenny Veach case, and it is important because if it's somewhat of a recent article and it's not been updated, or let's say, moreover, a new article comes out and it's got old information in it, there's no harm in updating it or letting other people know what's what. Because if you remember the last article we looked at, which was, I think, the Fox News 10 one, who was it by? Emily or something. Their information was either outdated or very, very vague, like with the evidence and the key fob not really being mentioned properly, and the investigation of Brenner's trailer, which wasn't mentioned clear. So, yeah. In addition to the start of this video, just to refer back to, you saw the timer, added that in, well, returned it back because most people wanted to see it in the video, okay? I did a poll recently, so that's why. And just a brief explanation of that timer, if anyone is confused or hasn't seen it before. Basically, it's just one of those implementations in which it gives people time to join. Sometimes it's okay having a schedule. Sometimes you need a second schedule. Almost like an alarm clock, almost like a reminder on the calendar. You might say, 9 o'clock in the morning, remind me to get a glass of water. You might forget, or you might not be fully there, or you might get distracted, but then you've got a secondary reminder at 9:20. So you remember to do it. So when it comes to the Dylan Rams videos of mine, sure, most of the time it's like either 9:15 or 9:30 p.m. UK time, and people might see that earlier on because I don't do it last minute. I try not to. So then people still have time to, be notified when it goes live, to put it in their diaries. Well, I don't think I'm that important, but just so they know, because not everyone is subscribed, not everyone will have notifications turned on, but then other people who might be subscribed and have notifications turned on aren't always reminded. So it's a bit hit and miss, out of my control, dodgy YouTube and stuff. I encountered some weird glitches and weird errors earlier on with YouTube. That's why this video has been recorded later on in the day, because I didn't want to risk anything earlier because it was really dodgy. I did send out some requests and some reporting to YouTube about this stuff. I don't know if they'll get back, but if they do, it's kind of been fixed now, so hopefully it's not seen as wasting their time. It's not my fault that they replied back late, But yeah, linking back to the whole 10-minute countdown, I mean, you probably would have seen it in other people's streams, how they've added it in, but they do bloody 20, 30 minutes. 20, 30 minutes. Bloody hell, dragging it out a bit, right? Because I take it into mind, the video's scheduled anyway, so there's a countdown there, and the live chat is on. You can't interact to the same extent though. You know what I'm saying? Apologies if you're thinking why I'm not getting right into the case, it's just because I'm talking about this first because it's important and it's on my mind right now, okay? I will get into the most important stuff shortly, okay? But as for these 10-minute countdowns, it serves as a secondary reminder. It allows people to settle down, get ready, get prepared. They might click on the link, but then they might have to go and do something, or they might have to get a drink or make a pizza or get a towel. I don't know, any of that stuff. So then you don't miss anything. 10-minute time frame. Yeah, that's the thing. As I said, it's restricted when you're waiting for the premiere. You got the live chat, but it doesn't count towards the video when it's actually playing or when you replay it back afterwards. The same with when you replay a video afterwards and you think, well, where's the rest of the chat gone? That's more to do with, when the live stream, the live video premiere has ended, and then right at the end, although the video has ended, the chat's still ongoing, as you know. It goes on for like a couple of minutes. And most people probably leave, but some people still stick around and remain, so you can still carry on chatting, but that's only temporary. And if you tried replaying the video back, you wouldn't get that portion of the live chat. It's taken out, it's not within the video premiere. Same with at the very start when you're going through the countdown. So if you add in your own countdown into the video itself of the live premiere, then the chat is more interactive and you can do more and do all the interactions and all that, whatever it may be. Does that make sense? Hopefully. So that's why I've got that in. Some people join late. Some people might join 5 to 10 minutes late, and sometimes, the start of the video is quite important or key things mentioned and they either miss it out or they've got to replay it back afterwards. So that little 10-minute, that 10-minute countdown at the start of the video premiere, once it's premiering, it allows people just to settle down and get ready and prepared. And additionally, to cancel out the end part issue with the chat cutting out after the video premiere's ended, I can add in another portion, not a countdown, but just a bit of scenery, like raindrops going down the window. I've experimented here and there with those different features. Now it's time to combine it all into one. It might not always be present or used in my videos. I've got to take in mind the timing and the length of my videos. Although I keep saying, oh, this is my longest video, and it keeps getting longer over time, and I'm thinking, I've got to be careful here because of storage. It's pushing it, Doing a 2-hour, 25-minute video was really, really taxing on the phone's storage. It nearly blew up. Not literally, but I wouldn't blame it if it did blow up because not enough storage. 128 gigabytes, still not enough. So it's kind of crazy. And then other like apps and games on there too. So you just got to move things around, but you don't want to move too much things around because you might need them. It's like when I was exporting that really long video previously, I had to uninstall YouTube and I had to uninstall the YouTube Studio because of space. And then it was like, okay then, cool. I've got the video, but I actually need YouTube to upload it and edit it, and I had to uninstall that app. So it's like, well, I'm fucked. So it gets very messy at times, but it's under control for most part of it, at least, okay? In addition, another thing just to point out before we continue is, as of recording this right now, I know the Shack lady is still doing her live stream. I think she's been streaming now for like over 9 hours, which is probably a normal thing for her. It might go up to 10, might even go to 11 hours. I don't know what the longest she can do or if she'll ever go any further, but she's definitely the longest live streamer when it comes to the Dylan Rounds case, if not for most part of YouTube. You don't get many people streaming on YouTube for that long. So they're doing well in terms of stamina and just being able to talk about a range of stuff because, whether it be the Dylan Rounds case or maybe it's also other things here and there they're talking about just to fill in the gaps. You can only say so much. It can get a bit difficult at times, But that aside, one thing I did notice though in the Shack lady's live stream earlier on today, and Moonshine Dragon, I think I said their name correctly this time, Moonshine Dragon was present in that live stream. I showed up as well, and then like Moonshine was a bit confused because she was like, wait, there's two impersonation accounts, and from the looks of it, there was. It seemed as if they kept reappearing. I assume that the Shack lady timed certain users out. I don't know if she blocked them, reported them. Blocking, reporting is probably more effective than timing people out, because if you time them out, they just come back again. If she did block and report them, then I guess they just had multiple accounts and kept coming back. It was a combination this time. They were using my name, not username, my actual name, and one of the profile pictures, okay, of me. Not of my YouTube, but on Instagram, okay? And as well, there was another account which was basically my actual YouTube username and profile picture of this channel, and they were impersonating me. So it was like multiple accounts, one after another, probably all by the same person, I guess. But it seems to be the Shack lady stream it's like focusing on. I guess it's to do with whoever's streaming at the time, so then that's where they go. But yeah, quite a bit of activity going on there, quite a lot of dodginess. So I just showed up and just said, oh look, we've got some fake people there. But obviously, you know, I think most people are aware, so that's useful. There's no harm in raising one's voice from time to time, yeah. And yeah, with the whole numbers thing, I wouldn't say it's really the end of the world, because I guess we've got numbers too. I don't know what we're recognised as. Is it the WLW clan? Is it the Raf Manson Reformed Family? Is it the Vampire Club? Is it the Warlike Raf Angels? I don't know. Do you know? I can't remember. I know, why not? I'll set a poll up, something random. I'll set a poll up right now with different options, and also provide the option which says NA as well, if you're thinking what the hell's going on. So it'll all make sense. What should this group or overall term name for maybe members of the channel or whatever? I don't know. It's just like some random dodgy makeshift name. Basically, it's something dodgy, okay? So with that all aside, let's get into the Dylan Rounds case properly now, okay? We'll start off with the articles. I'll do it in the correct order, read it through, break it down, analyse if possible, move on to the next, and then Brenner. As we do go along in the chat, you can share your thoughts, opinions, reactions, as well as talk about other stuff in between, okay? Let's begin. Right, so this is the first one. The title of the article is called Dylan Rounds Disappearance Considered Possible Homicide Investigation, written by Will Feelwright, October the 5th, 2022, so fairly recent. Now, what an interesting name, Will Feelwright. He knows where to touch you in all the right places. What a dodgy name that is. Who gave him that name? Anyway, so yeah, you got a photo of Dylan there. We've seen that before. We've mainly seen the one on the left and also the one on the right. The one on the right, he does appear younger. He's wearing that baseball cap, which is John Deere, similar to the one Brenner has, but they're two different caps. Okay, Candy's coolly confirmed that. As for the clothing, different, but same style, some kind of like hoodie with an inbuilt hood. One on the right is Under Armour branded. So that's the type of clothing he probably would wear, and probably what he was wearing when he went missing. It's worth taking in mind, obviously, because these details may help people out there that may see him or may have seen him at a point. You never know. Yeah, okay, let's start reading from here. So, Box Elder County. Law enforcement is now considering the disappearance of 19-year-old Dylan Rounds as a possible homicide. Well, Dylan Rounds isn't 19, he's 20 years old now. Possible homicide. So, homicide is basically where an individual kills another, okay? Just in case you didn't know. Box Elder County Sheriff's deputies said James Brenner is considered a suspect in the investigation. Brenner, 59, lived in a trailer near Rounds Farm in Lucerne and is in custody on federal weapons charges. So, as I say, they're keeping it up to date with Brenner's age, 59. Why they're not keeping it up to date with Dylan Rounds? I don't know. And yeah, he's in custody at the moment. In terms of the federal weapon charges, they keep saying charges, but recently it was just described as a charge. So, oh my god, my voice broke then. Shit. Either way, it's meant to do with weapon charges and not directly with Dylan. Okay, that's why. Rounds disappeared on May 25th. What? And is described as being 5'10" and 100. Oh no. What is going on here? What? Right, okay, chat. Very important moment, okay? Seems to be a big piece of misinformation on here, and this is an official article as well. Will Feel Right. Well, no, what was he called? Feel Good or Feel Right? Oh shit, I forgot his name. Where is he? Will Feel Right. You won't be feeling right after this bloody breakdown analysis, what I'm going to do. 25th of May? What are you on? What drugs are you on? 25th of May? It wasn't the 25th, you plank. It was the 28th, I guess. 28th. Because that's the last known contact Dylan made and then went quiet after that. In terms of May 25th, it has been talked about that date previously. Now, I think I'm correct in saying May 25th is the day Dylan picked up Chase Venstra near Tacoma Road, if I'm correct in saying. And he also said that Dylan was seen on May the 25th near to the border of Montello, Nevada. Most likely it tied in line with crossing over or coming back after rescuing or coming across Chase Venstra, whichever way round it occurred. Just to fill in that date, okay? So May 25th is still an important date, but it's definitely not the date he disappeared on. Rounds disappeared? No, he didn't. Dylan Rounds did not disappear on May 25th, you plank. It was the 26th of May / possibly the 27th when Dylan was at Saddle Saw Bar, and then later on at night, around about 11:30 p.m. to 11:45 p.m. on the 27th at night time, he was planting his seeds, and there was campers, witnesses, saw his lights on the tractor. 28th of May at 6:51 in the morning, attempted to make a call to Brenner, didn't work. But 6:51, okay, he did make a call to the grandmother, talk about the grain truck parking it in the grain shed, and he was supposed to call back later, but did not. Then 29th, no contact. The 30th, no contact. The parents went down, okay? That's how it unfolded. So he didn't disappear on May 25th, most likely 28th on that date. Okay? Damn, that's dodgy information, this. This is what can derail things and cause trouble. Obviously, I can understand from other people's point of views when they heard and saw it on YouTube. But obviously, when you get the news channels and the websites, which are spread much wider across all areas where people have access to it, they could be misinformed and it could lead to all kinds of confusion. Anyway, let's carry on reading. It says, and is described as being 5'10" and 160 pounds with brown hair and brown eyes. He was last seen wearing jeans, a dark shirt, and a flannel jacket. So this is kind of interesting, okay? It's kind of back and forth. Certain missing posters say a certain date with a certain outcome. Other articles here and there will say some information differing, but then add in another piece of information which is important, which wasn't included in a previous poster. Very back and forth. So whilst the date is atrocious by Will Feelgood when it comes to when Dylan went missing, an important description that has been added in here, which is more realistic, which has not been included in some of the missing person posters or the NAM-US report, is Dylan being 5'10" and 160 pounds. Because if you think back to the NAM-US report, it was saying 6 foot or something and 145 pounds. So yeah. And as well, just the clothing as well. Wearing jeans, dark shirt and a flannel jacket. Very important information. It's good that it was included here because, you know, if he's wearing that, he could be wearing it when he went missing as well, because I don't think he would have been allowed to change clothes, like if you were kidnapped and held hostage, they're not going to give you a fresh pair of clothes. They're not that nice, are they? Guess it depends who you get kidnapped by, though. But one way of interpreting it, okay, the same that he's wearing jeans, a dark shirt and flannel jacket, is that referring to the May 25th, or is that referring to the 28th, or just in general? It doesn't quite say. I mean, because it's all within the same paragraph, if you call it that, referring back to the 25th of May, how Dylan appeared on that date and what he was wearing on that date could be different to what he was wearing on the 28th. He might have had jeans on, but he might have had a different shirt or a different jacket, I know he, I guess, has limited clothing because he's not too obsessed with clothing and fashion, same with his boots, but he might have two different jackets, one that's Under Armour, the other one that's a stripy coloured one, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know exactly what type of clothing it's referring to on the date. It doesn't say clear. Anyway, let's carry on reading. Box Elder County Sheriff's Office has been working with several other agencies, including the Weber County Sheriff's Office and FBI, in their search. Related stories. On July 6, law enforcement asked the public to stop looking in the area for rounds as it had the potential to compromise the investigation. That's a good one, that. Box Elder County Sheriff's Office issued the following statement on Tuesday regarding their investigation. It says, locating Dylan Rounds, protecting the integrity of the investigation, and our ability to impose criminal responsibility upon anyone involved in his disappearance are our utmost priorities. We have been and continue to communicate with, cooperate with, and utilize the assistance and resources of Federal Bureau of Investigation, Utah Department of Public Safety, and many other agencies and resources. Okay, let's just hold on here because we can look at it two different ways, right? So, in terms of you could call them level-headed people who still believe that the LE, the police, are just doing their job, following procedures, they're not corrupt, they've not really done much wrong. Okay, those type of people that think that way, when Candice Cooley has stated about June the 2nd and Brenner moving the grain truck out and taking items out the grain shed, which is all part of the crime scene and all evidence which has been contaminated and ruined, going against what the police say here about calling, searchers and people coming in, pushing them away. So, if it was true that Candice Cooley, what she said about Brenner doing the spring cleaning on the grain shed, and if it's also true about all the other little bits of mishaps along the way, such as the boots, the resources as well, even though on here it says that we are utilising the resources and all kinds of things that are at our disposal, if Candice Cooley says the opposite, such as with the dogs being called off because of rain, no drone pilots being present, lying, not even bringing the drone down with them to use, the full spectral one. If that's all true, what Candice has said, then what's being said here is a load of bollocks, right? Right? Now, from the people that support the police or are neutral with the police, the LE, Box Elder County, all you people, in your mindsets, key, important, critical question right now, do you think, especially if you support the police, Do you think Candice Cooley is lying about everything she said in terms of all the negative stuff, what the LE has supposedly done? Let's just stop for a second and internalize that, okay? Because it is quite important, okay? Because, along the way, in my mind at least, using words carefully in a sense, not going all in, it's kind of like, are the police incompetent or are they corrupt? Two different things, right? Okay, one's more extreme than the other. So that's where I'm at, either this or that. For other people, it will be, are they in on it or are they just doing normal procedures and they've done nothing wrong? So that's like the balance. That's the way things are. Some people support one idea, one argument. Other people think different. But really, everything what Candice has said, let's just say it's true. Everything she has said, all the negative actions by the LE, the laughing, the joking, the mocking, not getting involved at times, dragging things out, delaying resources, not bringing certain resources, almost trying to prolong the case, drag it out as much as possible so it's so long that they won't be able to find Dylan in time and maybe certain suspects get off the hook. If all that, what she says, Candice, is true, then it definitely highlights the LE in a bad way, surely, especially when you compare it to the quotes on screen here. Obviously, the people on here, or the individual that has quoted this, okay, where it's come from the horse's mouth, the LE, obviously they're going to defend themselves and they're going to speak good about themselves, because if they don't, then it's just going to make them look worse. And plus, who does criticize themselves? Not really many. So you've got to speak good about themselves. It's just like how it is. Though in terms of the people that think what's written on here is true in real life with the Dylan Rounds case, do you think Candice Cooley is lying about all the negative stuff she has said about the LE? It's one way or the other, right? Either the police are incompetent / potentially corrupt and causing trouble, not good, or the police are doing what they're doing and what they should be doing, and it's Candice Cooley that's lying and spreading a lot of misinformation and slandering the LE. One or the other, okay? That's what we're getting down to if we're going to be realistic and sharp, okay? In my opinion, I'd slant towards that even though Candice Cooley has contradicted herself at times, it wouldn't surprise me if the LE are a bit dodgy, if they are a bit incompetent, moreover that they do things at their own pace. In terms of the behind the scenes stuff, they're probably following through okay with that from what's been said, but when it comes to the boots on ground operations, that seems to be where it's lacking the most. So yeah, leave your thoughts down below in the comments section. I'll just summarize it very quickly because sometimes I am a complete dickhead when it comes to trying to word things clearly. So basically, the quotes on screen right now are basically talking about the professionalism and highlighting themselves in a positive light, right? But in terms of what Candice Cooley has said about them, it's the complete opposite. And if you believed it was true, then what's been said, is a load of rubbish, right? But then there's also the other side and perspective that some people think the police are okay. Well, if you think the police are okay, then do you think that Candice Cooley is lying about what she's said of how the police have acted towards her? Leave your thoughts down below, okay? So, with that in mind, let's carry on. Last part. In order to ensure the successful prosecution of any individuals associated with Dylan Rounds' disappearance, and under the direction of Bucks Elder County Attorney's Office, the specifics of this active criminal investigation will not and cannot be discussed. Only updates that can be shared without compromising the case itself will be released when available. They said the Department of Public Safety has reviewed Bucks Elder County's investigation. I did not find any malfeasance. Interesting. Right, okay, so kind of interesting article, bit of a dodgy one by the person, Will Feel Good. I'm not feeling good after reading that. You failed me, Will. You failed me, you're fired. But to restore balance, that final part of the article, which was quoted, that does make sense, and I do understand that. The part about we can't release everything, some things need to be confidential. If not, it could compromise the case, such as the evidence leading up to the court hearing and stuff. So yeah, I understand all that, but it's when Candice Cooley said about the key fob being released public when it shouldn't have been. She wasn't lying then, was she? Because we actually saw actual evidence of it on the NamWS report. I even documented it in one of my videos, okay? So she didn't lie there, Candice, about the police incompetence. So that's 100% a fact that it did happen because I've got evidence to prove it. Screenshots, videos of the NamWS report of the key fob, which was confidential information, and yet the police were a bit incompetent and uploaded it publicly when they shouldn't have done. So that in itself highlights Bucks Elder County, the LE, in a slightly negative way because it's an actual event that occurred. Now, it's one of those things, if only there was videos, audio recordings of Bucks Elder County saying certain negative stuff towards Candice or Justin. It was a video being recorded of Brenner being allowed to walk around the shed and take things out. If all that was documented, then that is evidence, right, to prove that the LE are a bit dodgy, right? But because we've only heard it from Candice in words, not everyone believes that or sees it as concrete evidence, right? So I guess that's where we're at. But yeah, if there is even more important evidence which can't be revealed and hasn't been, then that's probably what they're talking about in terms of the case that has developed over time and become strengthened. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if that key fob situation where they made that mistake, the LE tightened up even more and became more locked away from everyone else because they were too cautious that they didn't want to make any more mistakes. Sometimes when that type of stuff happens, you get a bit too alert and a bit too strict and cut yourself off. So that's what the LE has done possibly in recent time because they don't want to make any more issues or create any. So I get that. A little side note just to point out before we move on to the next article, is there a possibility, okay, because Candice Cooley and Justin Rounds, they have not been cleared yet. They've not even been formally interviewed or in question by the FBI. So they're still kind of involved in the case as potential suspects in a way, right? Why have their names not been cleared? Is it because Bucks Elder County truly believe they're responsible in some way? I don't know. Leave your thoughts in the chat. Also, another side possibility. Do you think Bucks Elder County secretly think that Candice Cooley is a bit of a hothead? I forgot what the definition of that is, so hopefully I said it correct. Basically, does the LE think that Candice Cooley is the type of person to speak out too much publicly and then it could compromise the case, so that's why they don't trust her? Do you think the LE doesn't trust Candice? Leave your thoughts, because there's many different ways of looking at it, different combinations and possibilities of, is this person that, or is it that group? Back and forth type stuff. It's all over the place. Anyway, that aside, let's progress onto the second article, which is to do with strengthening that concept that it is a homicide investigation. Let's read the article and see if it's any better or any worse. Okay, so here is the second article, and it's titled "Deputies Say Evidence Pointing to Likely Homicide in Case of Dylan Rounds," and this was by Mark Jones. October the 5th, 2022, 6:30 p.m. Updated October the 6th, the day after the previous article was done, by Will Feel Good. Feel Right. Shit, I keep saying it wrong. Never mind. One thing I will say, just very quickly, because of the device I use, it enables reader mode, and reader mode is very useful when you're on a website where there's a lot of pop-ups and ads. Like when you're scrolling down or clicking off stuff that gets in the way. The reader mode disables it all, and it just has a black background so the text stands out and it's easier on the eyes when reading. Basically like dark mode. So much better. It really is. So step up from what I was doing in the past, okay? So same image as before. We'll read it from here. The family of 19-year-old Dylan Rounds says he hasn't been seen since Saturday, May 28th. Okay, interesting. So the way this one's worded is obviously different to the previous one. The previous one was saying he disappeared on the 25th. This one's saying he was last seen on the 28th. But that's the thing. He wasn't seen on the 28th. He was heard of on the 28th because of the phone call. There's a difference between seen and heard from. Unless they're referring to Brenner noticing Dylan on the 28th, because Brenner was obviously there, present. But obviously Brenner has said other things, saying he's not seen Dylan for over a month. So, there are contradictions here and there. It says he was last seen in Lucin, Utah, near the Utah-Nevada border. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Oh, shit. I've got to do a quick accent. Who was it? Nella Bella. What was it? Howdy, y'all, sweetheart. I forgot what I was going to say right now. Oh, my God. Well, don't worry, y'all. Y'all is all under control. It's all right. Don't worry. Oh, my God. Seriously, Mike Jones. Who the hell do you think you are? Oh my God, Mike Jones, I really need to have a word with you right now. My voice is so fucked up, oh my God, I need to breathe right now because this is really, really frustrating. Oh my God, Mike Jones, how could you do this? You're saying that, let's scroll down. I don't know, I'm getting really hyperventilating. It's so hard right now. Oh my God, I'm so flush. Oh my God, what am I doing? Right, I've done all them accents. What else is there? What was that? Well, God damn, this ain't right. No, it's all wrong. You're saying that he was, what? He was near the Utah border, near the Nevada one? That's a load of rubbish, man. He was nowhere near that. He was supposedly near the goddamn grain shed. This person's getting it all confused with what the other individual said before and what the poster said in the past. The past poster said on the 25th that he was seen near the border of Utah and Nevada. Hell, this one's saying on the 28th he was near the border. That's a load of rubbish, man. It's getting all confused, and I don't like confused, man. No, I don't. Right, which other accents have I not done for a while? Have I done a normal male American? I don't know, because it always turns into a female. Well, hello. My name is Warlike Wrath. I've covered the Dylan Rounds mystery for some time now, and I don't know when it's going to end. It's an endless case, and there's many different rabbit holes we can go down, but I'm all about balance, man. If you don't have balance, then it all goes downhill, and we don't want that, do we? No, we don't want that, man. So yeah, you got that one. What was there another one? Gildy Hillbill. No, I think we'll leave it for now. We can do some more afterwards because we need to get on with this. Fucking hell, stop messing around. But yeah, this this already is kind of mixed up, okay? Saturday, May 28th. Okay, yes, that's when he was last heard from, but not last seen. But then they're saying he was near the border on the 28th. That's incorrect, because previously they were saying about he was near the border on the 25th. And on the 28th, he should have been at the grain shed. So I think they've got it all mixed up there. It says Bucks Elder County Sheriff's Office wrote, as the investigation proceeds, evidence continues to support that homicide likely occurred, okay? Bucks Elder County, Utah. As the investigation into the whereabouts of Dylan Rounds continues, the Bucks Elder County Sheriff's Office says its investigation is leading them in one direction. While there is little additional information about what happened to the 19-year-old, Chief Deputy with the Bucks Elder County Sheriff's Office, Cade Palmer, told KSL the investigation is leading authorities in one direction. And then, in quotes, it says, as the investigation proceeds, the evidence continues to support that a homicide likely occurred, Palmer wrote in an email. Palmer say the Bucks Elder Sheriff's Office recently requested a review of the case. The Department of Public Safety, Weber County Sheriff's Office, and the Weber County Attorney's Office all reviewed the case. Palmer said in his email that all three agencies established credibility in the Bucks Elder County Sheriff's Office investigation with substantial and pertinent evidence. I guess the interesting thing is what you got to take from this. What the fuck? Why am I talking so fast? What you got to take from this is, who else was it? Weber County Sheriff's Office got involved with this review. Now that's interesting because Candice Cooley has praised Weber County in the past, okay? She said they've done well, good communication, they've not caused any trouble. So basically Candice Cooley likes Weber County. Now, does Candice Cooley still like Weber County if Weber County reviewed, like with the other departments, about the LE Bucks Elder County and saw no issues or flaws with them? You know what I'm saying? Because if she supports one police county over another, then does that opinion change after finding out that Weber County said LE are doing okay and there's no flaws, no issues? It's all in place as it should be. You know, interesting, isn't it? Because you might get that switching and turning. Now, if Candice Cooley is like, oh yeah, Weber County, yeah, I still like them, and she believes in them and trusts them, then shouldn't she then start believing in LE, right then? You know, if Weber County have been involved? Yeah. Anyway, let's just move that aside for now. Palmer said in his email that all three agencies established credibility in the Bucks Elder County Sheriff's Office investigation. Oh, I've already read that, silly me. Rounds was last seen 4 months ago in Luton, Utah, small town near the Utah-Nevada border on Saturday, May 28th. When search teams could not find Dylan Rounds after he went missing in May, Palmer said investigators quickly shifted their focus. No official suspects have been named, though James Brenner's name popped up recently when he was arrested on charges of illegally owning a firearm and was, according to court documents, squatting in a trailer near where Rounds was living. Yeah, we've heard that. Brenner hasn't been named as a suspect in this case, nor has anyone else. Palmer said authorities can't say anything more at this time, but that locating Dylan Rounds, protecting the integrity of the investigation, and our ability to impose criminal responsibility upon anyone involved in this disappearance are our utmost priorities. Additionally, Palmer said only updates that won't compromise. Yeah, okay. Dylan Rounds is described as being 5 foot 10 inches tall and 160 pounds. So you're seeing a few crossovers with what's being said, okay, what we just read just beforehand. So that's good how it ties in there, a few little additional points. So yeah, it looks like it is pointing more towards a homicide case. I mean, to most people, I guess that's not really a surprise, right? To some it's a positive because it's like it's now officially in place. Because sometimes when these titles remain unedited, you know, the case titles, it's like, oh, are they going cold? Are they being forgotten about? But when they're reinstated with a new name, a new outcome, even if it sounds negative, like homicide, it just shows that they're still keeping on top of the case, which is a positive, right? But I guess to most people it's like, well, there was a chance that it was a homicide. So obviously, it's an obvious thing to say, but it's now being treated that Dylan has been killed. Basically, if it's homicide, that there's no chance of him being alive now. Is that what they're getting at? Do you think that way as well in the chat? I mean, it's still one of those things where even if they find his remains, it will be a small positive because of closure, but also to get the justice, because like with the court cases and with what's been said by, I think, Cade Palmer before, that yes, they've got a strong case and evidence, but they need the body to, nail it home with that concrete evidence, I guess, to tie it all together. So there's still an importance behind it, but I'll say one thing though. If all the resources and there was no incompetence, and let's just say this drone does find Dylan, if the drone was used at the very beginning, would it have changed the name of the case from a homicide to just simply a missing person or an abduction kidnap case? Or do you think Dylan might have been killed on the spot from day one and then disposed that way? Ultimately, we will find out if down the line Dylan's found, because they might be able to, do forensics and track back to when he was taken out and how he was, if it's under that way. I know some people say, oh, so you're assuming that he's dead now and this and that, and it's like, well, with the time and how long it goes on for, it does slant more towards that way. And if the authorities are now saying a homicide due to the evidence they have, then obviously it seems more likely that is the outcome. Right, so the final thing I want to share with you, which is kind of important, is a comparison of Brenner now and how he was beforehand, okay? Play a clip to you first of all, and then I'll just get like a picture up and then, do a side-by-side comparison and talk from there, okay?
I can't say that James is our only suspect.
James Brenner is currently under arrest on a weapons charge and the assault of a man in 2021. This morning, he made a brief court appearance on those charges in a Box Elder courthouse. Brenner worked on the farm of Dylan Rounds.
Okay, so this is a side-by-side comparison. The one on the right is Brenner, which was taken a while ago. Can't remember the exact date, but obviously it's before he was arrested. The one on the left is obviously whilst he's in police custody. How they appear, kind of similar in terms of the clothing, bluish. In terms of the build, kind of the same still. Facial features, it does look different, to be fair. The one on the right, he's got a bit of a grin. The one on the left, he's not as happy looking. The one on the left, he's wearing glasses. The one on the right, he isn't. I don't know if he needs glasses or not, but he's wearing them there, unless he's got to read some information on paper, possibly. I don't know, about his sight, his vision. His beard is a bit more cleaner, trimmed, the one on the left, whereas the one on the right is a bit scruffy and messy. So, yeah, to be honest, one of those things where you look at them and they look like two different people. Well, they do to me, at least. You can leave your thoughts down below. Do you think they're two different people or not? I know it's the same person, but I just meant in terms of first-time impressions when you see him. As for mobility, he does appear a little bit, what do you call it, doddly? He was kind of like limping a little bit, but that's probably because of old injuries in the past. I know people said he did his ankle in, tripped over or something. Could explain the crutch in the past, which was found by Lance at Jim Brenner's former place of living in Montana, Nevada, possibly, maybe. But yeah, you could say his health isn't great at the moment, but maybe you could say, I don't know, psychologically maybe he's worse off because he's, surrounded by other inmates and other people and guards, and, he might get frustrated and angry like I was when the search and rescue and police were at his trailer. He seems to prefer being by himself. As for physically, I'd say he could be better off. You know, the watching his weight, he's eating the correct food now. He's in better conditions, ironically, you know, compared to being in a trailer in the middle of nowhere. So, you know, he might be a bit more healthier in some ways. I know other people have said it differently, but then again, it's like when you look at Dylan Round and you look at that photo where he was at that other farm or something doing work, and he was in the kitchen of that house. I think it was someone else's house. And some people said he looked a bit ill in his face because of the paleness of him and his build and size. So it's open to different interpretations. The one thing I find funny is, you know, whilst they're still going on about this case and they've got the information on board, they've still got the weather at the bottom. Look at 76 degrees, is that Fahrenheit? It must be. It says tomorrow, mostly sunny, but look, there's a cloud there with a thunderstorm and a bolt of lightning, man, a Moab. What's a Moab? The last time I heard the word Moab was in Call of Duty, and it was a missile strike. So is that what it is on the news? You know, fucking missile strike, a lightning bolt's going to be shooting down your spine. I don't know. Anyway, I've got to be careful with this image because if it falls into the wrong hands, and we'll word it differently this time to neutralise and demonstrate damage limitation, but if the odd person, whether they've got an obsession with me or not, or it's somebody else, ends up seeing Mr. Brenner on screen right now and sees him on the left-hand side, they might get a bit too excited to be like, oh my God, look at Daddy Brenner. Oh my God, Daddy, you look so much better than ever, man. Oh my God, I really am so excited right now. Please, can I come to you? I want to have a tea party. Oh my God, so amazing. Look at that bed. It's so smooth and short now. I can fit my hands for it. Oh my God, it feels like Christmas has come early. Oh my God. Oh my God. Seriously. That God in the background, the way he's staring down, he's like, yeah. Oh my God, you better not be cheating on me, Brenner. That's so rude. How could you? Oh my God. It pisses me off in a way, because I'm sure I'm getting a bit too repetitive with these American accents, unless they all sound the same, or they are kind of the same. I don't know what other ones they are. What's the other one? Yo, fool, what you doing here? I'll knock you out. Oh no, I'm not going to do that. Oh no. That's not going to go well. No, it's cringy, that one. But linking back to Brenner, okay, he kind of looks different, but he's probably in better hands now, in a sense, in terms of him being fed and all that. I'm not saying that he deserves it, obviously. I'm just saying he's in better conditions compared to being in the middle of nowhere in a desert. So, just that. But who knows what will happen next. And, you know, another side note is whilst he's in custody or when he's officially locked up and he's around inmates and stuff and in the courtyards and wherever, do you think he'll get into any fights? Will he have a go at anyone or not? That's what you take in mind. Just like other little bits and bobs along the way which can come in. Yeah. Right, so I think that's it for today's video. I don't know why I look like an alien. The green top. Why do I look so pale? I don't know. I look really pale. It might just be the lighting of the room. That's weird, that. Anyway, yes, you can leave your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section and all that. Obviously, there is still videos I need to upload, but sometimes things get pushed back if there's more important stuff or more recent things. It's worth covering that first before it becomes outdated and then people start saying, oh, that's old news now. So that's like recently with the Facebook posts and updates by Candice Cooley, the drone, and the whole homicide update as well with the case of Dylan. So that's why they've been focused on first hand. If there's nothing else really important, then I'll move on to my own independent videos and coverages of the case itself, okay, because there is still a few more things to do, like 3 or 4. One of them's a theory, the other one's map analysis, the other one's dodgy map analysis, but it's still going to be reinforced with valid points and looking at things such as Ogden Cemetery as well, because if Chase Venstra has been in Ogden, he could have gone to the cemetery too, as well as even staying the night, because the timing it was recorded at when it Little Caesars, okay? So it can all tie in together, and we can make more sense of that shortly whenever that day comes. So I could say goodbye in a sense, but we're moving over to the overtime section where you can still carry on talking, okay? You know, you don't have to be banished yet, okay? So yeah, we'll just we'll just transition over, and then you can listen to some music and then carry on talking, okay? Oh, I'm sorry for interrupting. I just remembered, as for that belt emoji, at some point I need to create one. You know, a simple belt in itself could work, but I think I need to create like a thumbnail, a proper one, where I'm stood there and I'm holding it like this. Something like that, possibly. Well, I'll look into it at some point. It's under control, do not worry. And also, aside from the standard that, I don't think it's good enough. Do you? No. I think it needs to be faster and harder, just to see how it could go. I guess we could demonstrate, because, you know, this is one of the things when it comes to this stuff. You know, we need to do demonstrations as well, okay? So, whilst I'm demonstrating, Nella, get your paintbrush out, start painting, okay? Because this is the other thing. If it ever comes to conflict within this community, we are locked and loaded. The guns are here. Where are the guns? Where are the guns? Haha, that's a very good one, that. The right, oh shit, I nearly ripped my top then. The right here, kind of non-existent at the moment. Yes, that is true. But aside from me slightly falling behind, other people have, you know, where you've got Nella with her pineapples, you know, ones you can chuck, throw them at people. Well, it's normally coconuts, isn't it? But you get the idea. Pineapples, throw them left, right and centre if anyone gets in the way. She's also got paintbrushes, throw them like darts and jab them into people. You've got Moonshine, Sun Dragon with her pizzas, chuck them out like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, shurikens, whoosh, throw them into people's faces. What other piece of ammunition? Cleo, can't forget Cleo, shout out to Cleo. She's got all kinds of features. Actually, that sounded a bit odd, but you know, like the magic. No, fuck that one up, didn't I? Shit. It's got the magic wand, so any issues going on, any resistance, I don't have to worry. You know, she can cast a few spells and it can be all under control. Turns certain dodgy people into frogs and stuff like that. Is there anyone else? You know, I can only think of so much, but if anyone else has got ammunition, not literal, or abilities, feel free to list them down below. So at least I've got this as well. So as I said, if anything ever goes wrong, this can always be used. It's all under control, right? I'm just trying to think. I thought there was like other individuals. No, I can't think at the moment. Never mind. So I'll just get on with this quick. I don't know where to. I probably should have done a poll as well. Next poll, where should I hit next? Maybe. I can't even fit myself on like that. Is that all right? I'm going to try and do it very fast. The thing is, it's very floppy. It goes all over the place. You can't control this. How do I do it? Oh, for fuck's sake. That's hard on the arm. It's a bit, you know, demanding. No, it's not consistent. I haven't got the consistent flow. It's one big whack. You know what I'm saying? What about on the arm? No, it's probably. You know, it's a good thing no one else can hear because they're probably very confused right now. So that is it properly, okay? I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Hopefully no one had any heart attacks. If so, please request CPR and I'll appear at some point, provided I'm not too late, okay?